y'all, giggity, and we are back. And it is said that Nancy Grace done flipped up, man. We went through the program the other night, and they saying Nancy Grace done flipped up. Is that true? Let's do a little quick recap real quick, and then we're going to get to the evidence. You know who I am, and you know what I do. Let's get to it. All right, so this is what Nancy had to say.
Wet sand. That's the way to put it. It's wet sand. He's not out in the water, Jeff Gentry. What does that mean, if anything?
That's really abnormal. I would have a ton of questions in that case. I would wonder if there's no waves, no strong current, why is that body up on a shore? How did it get there? And just like when we're looking at blood evidence or other forms of evidence, if something is in a certain position within a scene, you have to question how it got there. I've investigated a lot of deaths, bodies in canals, rivers, lakes, large bodies of water, never really near the ocean, to where you would expect somebody to wash up to shore. But in these cases, even though there's strong current, waves, large bodies of water, I've never really seen bodies up on a shore, especially up out of the water enough to where they could decompose significantly to where they can't be identified or can't be fingerprinted. So that would be a very big question that I would have in this case is, with the absence of waves, with the absence of a strong current, how in the world did this 19-year-old man end up on shore out of the water?
Wet sand.
Now, y'all
that's
hear
the way
that?
to put it. It's wet sand.
But that's not the energy that she was given, right? My man Trent, shout out to my man Trent out loud. Trent say she working with them folks.
Nancy Grace has been compromised. Nancy has switched sides and is now working for the opposition.
John Hewitt, why were you at Horn Island on the 4th?
Well, Foxy. We go every year for the 4th of July.
Shay.
One of the young men in the photo that continues to circulate, the young man in the far right asked us for a ride at 4:30 and said that his friends were leaving. Could we give him a ride? And when I looked up, I seen the boat pulling out. It was loaded with kids. I seen them pulling out, and I told him that we were at capacity on my vessel, and did he have another way in? He said that he did have more friends out there, that he would just catch another ride.
Stop right there, Johnny, because I'm about to break down your lies. This random man named Johnny Hewitt, who no one has ever heard of, claims that Nolan asked him for a ride at 4:30. Ironically, the time when we know the boat was leaving with the 3 white boys.
Come on now.
So right away there, he's laying the alibi for the boys. Then he goes on further to confirm and says, I looked up and I saw the boat leaving and there was a bunch of kids on that boat. They were gone, establishing the timeline of Nolan on the island and the 3 white boys gone. He then claims that he proceeded to tell Nolan that his boat was at capacity and asked Nolan if he had another way inland. And Nolan said, yeah, that's cool. I have other friends that I could ride back with. Excuse me, sir. If Nolan had other friends that he could ride back on, why would he ask you, Johnny Hewitt? Does this look like the type of guy that Nolan wants to go back with first? Let me show you how diabolical these people are. That was just a 1-minute preview of the interview. If you would like to watch the whole entire thing,
I already broke it down, baby. Thank you, though. I appreciate you, my man. But I really did want to get that little recap. Now, another thing that happened, too, I don't know if y'all know about this, but there was this creepy old man. I'm gonna let Sam tell you real quick, because this is crazy.
Sam here for a Nolan Xavier Wells update, and Nancy Grace just had John Hewitt on her show, who was on Horn Island. Now, something to pay attention to. He's not talking about Nolan here. He's talking about this boy on the far right of the picture. Now, check this out.
John Hewitt, why were you at Horn Island on the 4th?
Well, we go every year for the 4th of July, and we were all out there with family and friends. We left at 4:30. We started picking up anchor. One of the young men in the photo that continues to circulate, the young man in the far right asked us for a ride at 4:30 and said that his friends were leaving. Could we give him a ride? And when I looked up, I seen the boat pulling out. It was loaded with kids. I seen them pulling out, and I told him that we were at capacity on my vessel, and did he have another way in? He said that he did have more friends out there, that he would just catch another ride. we saw some of the boys leaving, and then we saw coming in the channel, coming around Fort Point into Fort Bayou. I fussed at some of the boys that were in the water behind one of the boats. And later, now, we didn't know at the time how relevant it was.
Now, did you hear that? He said the boy at the right of the picture who stayed on the island. He is not talking about Nolan.
Right.
And then check this out from John's wife, who posted this on Facebook about a month ago. The kid on the right looks like the kid that tried to hitch a ride with us, said he told his friends to go ahead and he'd catch a ride in with somebody. We dropped anchor around 11 closer to the west tip and saw them all walking towards the dunes. There was probably 200 college-age kids together down there. We ended up moving down by my wife's mom and dad, but we didn't see any of them again until we were leaving. When we were approached by the young man on the right, that was around 4:30 to 4:45. He was alone when he walked up to us. We told him that we were at capacity, and he said no problem, that he had more friends out there that he could get a ride back with. Now, what is up with everybody leaving at 4:30? And it makes you ask the question, why did that one friend on the right decide to stay back on the island? And if he stayed back on the island, shouldn't he then know if Nolan was there on the island or if he was on the boat? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service saying,
Hey, you know what? Real quick though, shout out to Sam. But I don't know if y'all really heard Sam speaking. I got something from Sam for later, but y'all know they got a new lawyer on the case though. Oh yeah, hold on, check this out.
Area attorney is now part of Nolan Wells' family's legal team. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams has more on his role in the case.
Nearly 2 months now since his body was found on Horn Island, and we're no closer to finding out what happened to Nolan Wells. The family has added some new legal firepower with a local attorney joining the legal team.
I think it helps to have somebody local who's, from the soil.
Right.
Somebody that, is kind of familiar with the terrain, with the people.
Jackson criminal defense attorney Ahmad Smith signed on 3 weeks ago. Smith will assist National Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, along with the NAACP Office of Legal Counsel, working on an independent investigation. Many, including Wells' parents, have raised serious questions about how law enforcement authorities on the Gulf Coast are handling the investigation.
They've spoken out publicly often enough to suggest that they have some skepticism about the way that this process has played out.
Wells' body was found washed up on the water 2 days after he and a group of friends set off on a boat from Ocean Springs to Horn Island on 4th of July. Smith says the cases are the attention from around the world. Some are worried about a cover-up.
There have been instances where black bodies have been found floating in Mississippi waters in mysterious circumstances. So people naturally harken back to some of that history.
Smith says he spoke with Wells' parents last week during a gathering for what would have been his 19th birthday.
While they're grieving, the disposition to me seems to be one that is hopeful. They're trusting the team that they've amassed.
Smith believes an independent investigation is indispensable because he says you can't always trust the information coming from state prosecutors will be accurate. He says sometimes they may not have the knowledge or the resources. Sometimes they will simply miss something. Reporting from Jackson, Ross Adams, 16 Metro.
And there's a reason for that. Hold on, there's a reason for that. Because let's not forget what Tristan said, right? Let's not forget that.
And let's not forget that very viral line that Tristan said. Let's stop acting like we didn't hear him and vividly how he is acknowledging that Ocean Springs takes care of Ocean Springs. Hello.
Right.
He's going to have Ocean Springs back.
And we also know that the DA lives in Ocean Springs. Hello.
I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not.
Yeah. Who your dealing with.
So for all of those that continue to say that race is not a factor in how Nolan Wells has been treated, how the family has been treated, how they didn't investigate, how they're giving all of those grown men a pat on their back, and they have all of a sudden turned to be the victims, and now Nolan's family is no longer the victims, but they are the victims. They will always be the victims until they get justice. So let's cut that out and stop spinning this false narrative that Ocean Springs is not racist, and it's not like that over here. And I'm not saying everyone in Ocean Springs is. I am just saying that we can clearly tell what is going on in this case.
Straight up, mama. Straight like that. Now it gets much deeper though. It gets much deeper though. Hold on. It's this video that came out from this white dude. Sam covered it on his channel.
I'm here with the Nolan Xavier Wells update, and I'm sure you guys have seen this video circulating online of this old man Wilbur allegedly saying what happened to Nolan. And my question is it real? Is it AI? In my opinion, I don't see how it could be real, because wouldn't they be suing him for defamation too? I mean, this is pretty bad. Check it out.
Let's talk about the Nolan Wells thing for a second. I was on a live last night, and this is the honest to God's truth, and I'm going to even post in the hashtags where you can go find and listen to it. So here's what happened. They killed Nolan Wells on the boat. They covered him up with the life jackets. They all knew he was on the boat. They just laid him on the back of the boat and got towed in part of the way. Then they got their boat running and they got on in. And when they got in, they couldn't figure out where they were going to put him or what they were going to do.
Interesting.
So they dropped everybody off.
Okay.
Then they went back out to the island that the GPS doesn't show, but they did, because they disconnected it. Okay? And none of them had their phones with them when they went back. So there wasn't any trace of them going back. And they dumped the body. They came back, took the boat out of the water, then went over there at 3 a.m. and washed the boat, thinking washing the boat would get all the DNA and everything off the boat. That's what they did.
Somebody come grab your Uncle Wilbur, because he's talking. Do you guys believe this? Where are the defamation lawsuits?
Right.
Sarah Paid Fields? Ed Balsack, Tyler Cox, where are you guys? Who is this guy? Do you guys believe what he's saying is real? I mean, he says it very calmly. It does
sound plausible.
It paints a picture. I don't
does.
know. I'm just leaving it here for you guys to let me know what you think about it.
I think it sounds very plausible. I mean, I don't know now, how he know? That was a good question. I see who said that. How he know? I don't know how he know, but he knows something. Yeah, you gotta love the internet, don't you?
For people, I'm back with an update and some breaking news in the Nolan Wells investigation. Alright, so boom. Last night, Nancy Grace had a guy from the United Cajun Navy, the searchers that found Nolan. Yeah, she had a guy by the name of Jeff Gentry on her show last night. And she asked him what was the significance of Nolan Wells' body being found on the shore of Horn Island. And he goes on to say, basically, that's really abnormal. He has investigated and found many a body in bodies of water, never popped up in the same spot, excuse me, as they were supposedly to be taken missing from. He basically said, with no strong current and no waves, how could his body wash up on shore? Which is another question to ask for all you. There's no foul play. Well, there's more evidence to suggest that there is foul play than there's evidence to support a simple drowning. Right. So y'all need to get on here with that and get on board with the Justice for Nolan and want to know what happened to him, because there was something fishy going on. This man said ain't no way that boy was supposed to pop up like that. Face down in wet sand, body decomposed to the point where they had to use his dental records to identify him. They couldn't even fingerprint him or look at him to identify him. He was way too decomposed to have been in a body of water. So, what now? What y'all gonna say now? The experts are saying there's something fishy here. So who y'all gonna believe? The expert or your lying eyes?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then then they be talking about like what really happened, and here come all these people. Now you got the attorney general coming out the woodworks. She got something to say about it all now.
And as it relates to the Nolan Wells investigation, we're nearly 2 months into the investigation. We still don't have a resolution. This case is still garnering widespread national attention. We know you made some remarks recently about concerns about people making threats against law enforcement. What do you think needs to happen? Does there need to be some resolution at some point soon to this investigation so that you can allay the fears of people who have questions about a cover-up or authorities on the Gulf Coast not coming clean and letting the public know the truth about what happened, whatever that is?
It's always horrific and sad when we lose any of our individuals here in Mississippi. And yes,
any of
absolutely,
our
we'll be protective
individuals.
if people are being threatened or any harm that might be coming their way. That's certainly what the role is to protect.
Wait a minute. Did she say any one of our individuals? Damn. Not constituents, not citizens, not community members, not individuals. Damn, that was disrespectful. That was super disrespectful. She did exactly what Tate Reeves just did.
Protect them as well. But, that's an active investigation, and I know they're going through the normal course that they always do with the DA's office and the investigation there.
Should your office take a role in that, given that this is such a high-profile case?
Well, we always adhere to our locals first, and so certainly they're doing their job. They're going through the process.
She said the exact same thing.
And when the time comes, I guess we will all find out the information.
Man, you ain't talking about like you got no empathy or sympathy for the little black boy that just died in your state. That's terrible. That was terrible. Pepper, what up? Rain, what's going on? Who else is there? Man, this is crazy. Now they talking about all of them threats and all of this. They trying to keep everybody silent. I can't pass these sisters talking about that. And it ain't even no merit to nothing that they're talking about.
Listen, someone simply resharing, reposting something else that they have seen on social media that made logical sense to them is not defamation. And in our state, the state of Texas, before you can even file a defamation suit against someone, you have to first send them a cease and desist and give them the opportunity to remove and clarify what they have said that is incorrect. So,
especially when they are with public platforms like this, you have
matters of public concern.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So what it is if it's a matter of public concern, they don't want to stop people from being able to talk about crimes like this, especially where the goal is to obtain justice for the families, right? So therefore, he might think he's slick getting a lawyer who owns the Magnolia newspaper. But those of us who know the law can just give you some peace there. What are your thoughts on that, Lawyer Bay?
I think it's very suspicious because, and this is the thing, they like to run and get lawyers, probably
Memphis
T-Move lawyers.
What's up, Chevy?
That allow them to make statements and put things like this out. These lawyers are not PR trained. They are trained to only go into the court and argue based off of case law, statutes, and things of that nature. What his lawyer did was very dangerous because you are placing a public threat with no legal backing. So you're also making certain admissions that now we can verify that you all now are utilizing, have been watching social media in order for you to now become a victim. We didn't tell Warren to sit his clear behind on that House Negro podcast and tell us that you were a part of the 3 boats that were coming out there that day. We didn't tell Warren to sit his clear behind on the Negro House podcast and tell us that you were the one suspected of providing them with help in emergency. They said they were taking on water before they left Horn Island, and any reasonable person would have stayed and called CETO in order to tow them out before you go into a body of water when you're taking on water. Then he brought your name up and said, oh, Bart helped. So what? Please make it make sense to the Timu lawyer who decided to give this statement that's saying that, oh, we're going to file defamation because under no circumstances X, Y, and Z. Well, X, Y, and Z is your clear friend Warren that put you in the vicinity at the time, and then was making statements that they were joking with Nolan about a girl named Katie that just so happened to have some kind of association that people are alleging. So you want to try to threaten people in a newspaper in order to make them stop. That ain't stopping nothing. Tell us what happened to Nolan, and then this can stop.
Amen.
Straight up. I like that. Because we ain't finna stop. It ain't gonna stop. It's people all over the internet doing what they need to do. What up, Jay? I see you up in there. Yeah, I know. I thought, hey, Major, that's what's up. Why would they cancel the call is a very good question. But this is another thing. Like, just when we break it down to the basics or just the itty bitty of what it really is, let's not forget that everybody was out there drinking. Okay.
The Nolan Wells case again, real quick. Yeah, Nolan Wells look drunk as shit, but it's no.
Nolan
my bad.
Yeah, the Nolan Wells case again, real quick. Yeah, Nolan Wells look drunk as shit, but it's know that they was fighting. They was showing their ass over there on Horn Island, just showing their ass out there, just ignorant as shit. They was drunk and whatever, I don't know. Even the damn lawyer knew that they was drunk as shit. Even from the CETO call, this lawyer know that they broke the damn law, though. Mississippi boating laws have laws that they did not abide by out there to keep the passengers safe and
Lisa,
everybody out there. And then you got Wyatt yelling at Nolan to get on a sinking down boat. It don't make sense. I guess some alcohol that's illegal went down in the Village pump and fucked it up or something out here. While Warren sitting over there watching Wyatt tell him to get on a sinking down boat. This lawyer know damn well that don't make no sense. And they had underage drinking out there, and those was his clients. That lawyer, bro, your clients was underage drinking, breaking the damn law. Okay, they was on the boat. They was calling for help and all of that. In the process of that shit, they was drunk as shit out there. From like Lamb to what, like 2 or 3 when they left out there, just drunk as shit, breaking the laws. And this lawyer know it. They can sit their ass on security guard Tatum all they want, just drunk as shit, ignorant, fighting. And guess what? The city of Mississippi turning a blind eye to 18-year-olds getting drunk as shit that can hurt themselves, crash them damn pickup trucks over there on the when you turn the boats back in and all that shit. But they don't give a shit though. Nolan got drunk and drowned. Well, who's the adult that gave them the alcohol then? Yeah, the Nolan Wells case again, real quick. Yeah, Nolan Wells look drunk as shit, but it's know that they was fighting. They was showing their ass over there on Horn Island, just showing their ass out there, just ignorant as shit.
Straight up, I swear. Ignorant to the mug. Now, there's another piece, though, that came out as well when we talk about the GPS and the coordinates. And I always said, like, just because they gave the coordinates that they gave doesn't necessarily mean that they was at where they was at, you know? And Trina, I did just look that boat thing up, and it's funny. This is what it said. It says it's a rumor. Online listing, social media users share a screenshot classified for a 15-foot boat. Accusation. Commenter claimed that boat, Bart or his family were trying to get rid of the evidence July 4th trip. The reality says this the wrong size for the boat. Now, I don't know if this is true, but it's funny that that if you put that on there, I guess AI is supposed to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I don't know, to what It is, but I'm just saying that's funny because when you said something, I looked it right up just to see what was up. But let's get on that GPS because Ahmadiyah broke it down.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyah Shakur. Now, when we're talking about the young man featured on the screen, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want the video to get taken down. But when we're talking about this situation with his case, we need to be focused on the GPS coordinates as well as the timeline, okay, and the boats. Anything else can be considered a distraction, okay?
Right.
So let's focus on what's important. Now, let's get into it. It's important to note that a set of coordinates is not automatically proof that a particular person, phone, or boat was actually at that location. Now, anybody can open a map, select the location, drop a pin, and copy the latitude and longitude. Those numbers may correspond perfectly as a real location, but that only establishes that the location actually exists. It doesn't establish how the person obtained the coordinates, when they obtained them, or whether their device was actually even there. Okay, please pay attention. So think about it like this. If I send you the street address of a hotel in Miami, that doesn't necessarily prove I'm standing inside the hotel. Right. Okay, GPS coordinates work basically the same way. Now, there are several ways location information can be misleading. A person could simply drop a pin somewhere else and send those coordinates to another person. They could copy coordinates from a map, a screenshot, or a location, or they could screenshot a location or relay coordinates provided by somebody else. In those situations, the coordinates themselves can be completely legitimate, while the claim about who was there can be absolutely false. Okay, so please pay attention. And then there's something known as GPS spoofing, where software or other methods can use a device or application to report a location different from its true physical location. That is a much more technical issue, but it illustrates why investigators generally shouldn't treat one displayed GPS location as the entire story.
Right.
There's also another possibility that is especially important when you're talking about boats. The coordinates could genuinely belong to something other than the person or vessel that they're being attributed to. So, for example, if we're talking about two different boats, okay, we'll say the Triton and the Palm Beach. So suppose someone obtains coordinates associated with the Triton, but represents them as the location of the Palm Beach. The coordinates don't necessarily have to be fabricated at all. They could be real coordinates, but simply attached to the wrong vessel, device, time, or event. Okay, that's why the critical question isn't simply, are these valid coordinates, but the better question would be, where did these coordinates come from? Which device generated them?
Gregorius,
Which vessel
I hear you.
was that device aboard? And at what exact time were they generated? Were they automatically recorded or manually entered? And does independent evidence put that same device and vessel at that location? Right. You see, this distinction can be enormous. Okay, now a screenshot is not the same thing as the original electronic record. A pin somebody sends in a text is not the same thing as GPS data automatically logged by navigation equipment. And somebody simply saying these are our coordinates isn't equivalent to investigators obtaining the underlying data directly from the device or service that generated it. You see, this is where metadata and independent records become important. Investigators can potentially compare the claimed location against original navigation logs, phone location records were legally obtainable, timestamps, photographs, and their metadata. Okay, communications, Coast Guard records, towing or marine assistance records, marina surveillance, witness observations, and the movements of other boats or devices. And see, this is all going to be the case because Nolan's mom has now subpoenaed the records from CETO as well as Ward Marine Services. So she's going to be privy to all of this information. Okay, so please pay attention. And also, the investigators aren't necessarily looking at only one point. They could be looking for a trail. If a device reports location A at 2 o'clock, location B at 2:10, location C at 2:20, and location D at 2:30, investigators can then examine whether that movement is physically plausible. How far apart are those points? How fast would the vessel have needed to travel? Does the speed make sense for the particular boat and conditions? Do communications and other records line up with the same timeline? Okay, this is much harder to explain away than isolated coordinates. And see, this is why I keep telling you all that we should be focusing on the coordinates, okay, the GPS coordinates, as well as the timeline and the boats. Okay, please pay attention. So when someone presents GPS coordinates in a disputed timeline, don't automatically ask whether the numbers look legitimate, but ask about provenance. See the history of those numbers. Okay, We should be asking who produced them, what produced them, when were they recorded, were they automatically generated or manually selected? Can the original record be recovered? And most importantly, can an independent source corroborate them? You see, that's why it's so important to this investigation that Mrs. Wonsley subpoenaed those records. Okay, please pay attention. And this is important because there's a huge difference between saying here are the coordinates showing a location and then saying here is the authenticated electronic evidence proving this specific device and therefore potentially this specific vessel was physically at this location at this exact time. Okay, those are not the same claim. And if GPS coordinates become important evidence in any investigation, the strongest answer usually won't come from the screenshot that somebody chose to show. It will come from the underlying digital record and whether the rest of the timeline agrees with it. And we already can see for right now in this case that the timeline is absolutely disputed. Okay, there's different time. They seem to be trying to switch up the timeline,
all right, Marjorie,
changing it. Specifically, the attorney, when he put in that letter to Al Sharpton, like I told you all, that the CETO call was made at 4:48, but it was reported that it was made at 4 o'clock and that they even left the island at 4:31. So if they left the island at 4:31, how were they calling CETO at 4:48? Okay,
exactly.
Please pay attention. Also, it's important to note that a professional death investigator came out and said recently during an interview that the fact that Nono's body was not fully submerged in the water, but it was on the shoreline, okay, meaning it was on the water and on the sand at the same time, that should be a huge red flag.
It should
be. Because it wasn't completely in the water. And then also he said that usually where the body enters the water is where it rises from, okay? It's usually going to be found in that same vicinity, okay? So please pay attention. With the information that we have thus far, we can't say 100% conclusively that his body was actually even in the water, okay? We cannot say that. Because for all we know, it could absolutely have been placed there, because I find it very interesting that they didn't find anything on the 5th, and then all of a sudden on the 6th at 8:45 in the morning, there he was. Okay, please pay attention. And the Cajun Navy said something about that previously, and then later came back, and their stories seem to have switched up.
Right.
And also, I'm just curious as to whether or not someone used one of those GPS spoofers, because it is a known fact that down there in Mississippi on the Gulf Coast, that there's a problem with people using those things, and they're illegal. But mind you, many people use them because when they go fishing, sometimes they fish in restricted areas where they know they're not supposed to be, and so they'll use those spoofers to throw people off. Okay, so please pay attention. And remember, just because someone said they were on a specific boat and gave GPS coordinates for that boat does not mean that they were actually on that specific boat.
I agree. Man, give it up. Give it up to the queen. She really broke that down. I had to scour and get that one. Now, Trina, you did say Wyatt and them was all quiet. Well, there's actually apparently a lot of people quiet because Shorty done found out who all was on the boat.
In order to go forward in an investigation, you have to go back to the beginning. And once I did, I realized we have missed something huge, y'all. And yes, I have already tried making a video about this, so let's try it again. All right, so according to one of the original MDMR reports, Captain William Freeman called the Master Sergeant and told them to locate and interview a female subject. And that's how we get to this girl, Lainey. Now, this has always bothered me because I'm like, why is Lainey's name in this report? Why was she brought up at all? Especially since, according to Lainey, she hadn't seen Nolan in over a year and was on a completely different island. So it never made sense to me. And then it effing hit me. So according to this report, on July 5th at 9 a.m., assistance was requested from Captain Freeman as part of the drone search. Freeman was transported to Horn Island, and at approximately 10 a.m. he tried 3 failed launches. It ended up being a software error, and he was unable to fix it in the field. So then at 10:30, Freeman requests that Smith come out and assist with drone duty. Freeman and another officer went and picked up Smith and transported him to Horn Island. But by 12:40, the first drone finally takes flight. Now, wait a minute. If Freeman was out on Horn Island trying to do this drone launch, had to call in assistance, go and get that person, bring them back to Horn Island, then when the F did he get this information about Lainey? Oh, wait, I have an idea.
Was looking for Nola, who was on the boat. Was it multiple boats, multiple boats? Okay, can you explain that? Who was out of this group? Who was on what boat? Or who was on a boat or not going out looking for Nola?
So, me, Wyatt, and Trayson
got in the boat. We got in the Palm Beach that morning, the morning after, and to the islands, and we were met by DMR. There was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes. They just said, all right, well, I mean, we got the area scoped out. I mean, and then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all. Yeah.
Okay, so by Morgan's own words, he, Trayston, and Wyatt were on the Palm Beach out at Horn Island talking to MDMR. Oh, and when was that? When did they do that?
From 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy.
Oh, you were out there until 11:50, you say? You mean 5 minutes before this phone call happened? Does that sound like a coincidence to you? Now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to conclude that they were the ones who gave this information to Captain Bill Freeman. Again, why would they give Lainey's name if she wasn't there in that group that day? Especially when he was supposedly last seen with Katie, whose name, again, is conveniently absent from any report that we've seen. Now, this is about to get deep, y'all, because I reread the line again, now knowing that the boys were the ones who probably gave this information and not just some random good citizen. Specific wording says, Captain Freeman said to locate and interview a female subject that was possibly involved with the missing person on Horn Island. Possibly involved? How did I miss that? How did we all miss that? Because there's 2 other boys mentioned in this that they don't make contact with, and it just says possible names associated with Wells. That is very different and intentional language. Right. Now, as I've told y'all, I've spent weeks learning the dynamics of all these different friend groups and who they're friends with online, etc. Now, this is Lainey. Now, most people have clocked this picture where Lainey is with a girl who is wearing the same swimsuit last 4th of July as the one that is on the boat with Katie. I'm going to try and do this in the easiest way possible. I have narrowed down the BFF group with Lainey and these girls.
Damn, she done went in. She say on her channel that she's very obsessive about going through these meticulous things. Now, we just had Katie. There's Nevaeh, Kendall, Bailey, Maggie, Ava. There was a lot of people on that boat, fam. I ain't know all this, but I'm like, God, it was a lot of people on that boat.
All of these girls have called each other their best friends and taken pictures with each other at some point or another. Now, none of these girls are friends with any of the Wyatt Warren friend group. All of them are friends with Trayston and Trayston's sister. Trayston's sister has best friend picture relationships with all of these girls. It's very clear that this is a core group of friends. There's group pictures with them, they've lived together, etc. Now, Kendall is the one in the blue and red bikini in this picture. But I found another picture of Bailey and Maggie here from last 4th of July wearing the exact same red and blue swimsuit that Kendall was wearing. So it's pretty safe to say that these girls coordinated all wearing the same bathing suit. Also found this picture of Lainey from 2 4th of Julys ago wearing this bathing suit. Does it look familiar to anybody? That's right. That is clearly the same bathing suit from the boat with Katie, with a face that's conveniently been blurred. Now, do we think it's a coincidence that 2 swimsuits associated with this friend group all ended up on the same boat as Katie? I'm gonna say the chances are slim. Now, Kendall seems to have a longtime boyfriend. And guess what his name is? Jacob Brooks, which is the second name that comes up on this report. And
yeah, I remember hearing about Brooks earlier on in there.
guess who seems to be Lainey's longtime boyfriend? Drew Johnson, the other name on this report. Now, Drew, unlike all of these people over here, Drew is friends with the Warren Wyatt friend group. Also the only one out of this entire group that is Facebook friends with Nolan. If this was the boys telling this information to the captain, why were they saying that their buddy's girlfriend was possibly involved with Nolan? And why would Trayston be snitching on his sister's friends like this? Now wait, one of Katie's BFFs, Nevaeh, is friends with a Kaden McGrath. Kaden is friends with 0 people from either group except for Nevaeh, as far as I can tell. Kaden is somehow related to a Joe, who is frequently advertising on his page for the Biloxi Bay RV Resort. The one that I was saying that according to the GPS coordinates looks like they may have dropped somebody off at. So in my opinion, Joe is clearly somehow related to the Marty McGrath, who was the one who apparently took all these people on this boat, including Katie, when this friend group was supposedly left on this island. And I feel like that language is really important and overlooked because left makes it sound like your ride left without you. Now, according to Joe's LinkedIn, he is IT for the Ocean Marine Group, which is owned by Jerry Adkerson. Aiden is also the only person I can find who is friends with Captain Chris Seth Ward, the son of Chris Ward, who was called by Jerry to cancel the sea tow allegedly on his private line before the sea tow call was even finished. I also found a very weak connection through social media between Lainey and a girl who is in the same sorority as the girl who threw the party, Ava, allegedly threw the party. So what if Trayston's slick comment wasn't about Katie at all? Because I don't know about you guys, but we have seen absolutely 0 proof that Katie was actually out there with them. They have kept the story hyper-focused on Katie, and no other girls' names have really gotten out. What if Katie has been the red herring this whole time? I don't know. I'm still trying to piece through. I'm still trying to figure it out because there's clearly a chunk that is missing out of this story. Like, I think Lainey is a red herring too, don't get me wrong, because I don't see these boys like freely offering up their motive or anything, but it sounds like maybe this Lainey girl was involved with Nolan behind her boyfriend's back at some point, and they tried to use that. So
Shout out to her for busting that down. But is it looking like what we thought it was all the whole time, though? Is it looking like exactly what we said it was? Over a female, over some jealousy, somebody done did something, this, that, and the third. Now we got the stuff on the back of the neck. Now we ain't got no lungs, we ain't got no throat, we ain't got no stomach, we ain't got none of that. We hear about a fight, we hear about somebody getting put in an arm bar, everybody leaving from the island early, going out to Horn Island. Why y'all leaving early? Wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, is it all starting to come around? I think the saddest thing about this is I think that we could definitely be on the right track and it could definitely be what we think it is. But I think that's a part of this grand gaslight that's been going on. This grand gaslight. All of this, all of this might be the setup. They might just do the I'm white and I say so and say we ain't nothing. Ain't nothing to see here. Go on. We don't care. Now, I don't know about, because I thought I don't know about like what needs to be presented to the grand jury or whatever the case is, but now that we see that they got their own private investigators doing investigations and doing subpoenas and stuff, now they're working outside of the law on their own. So actually it could go either way now that they have a vested interest in figuring out what's going on. And also there's a lot of money behind this as well too. On the Nolan side, there's people who put their money up talking about they really want to see what's going on. And when you put your money up, you expect to see some results, right? And let's not I mean, the least of it is a civil lawsuit. I mean, we already know that there's probably so many entitlements to the civil aspect of it. And I'm not, hey, they should get paid. Okay, there ain't no amount of money that can bring their son back, but man, get them folks for what they got, for doing what they need to pay for all of this BS that they've been doing for so long. That's just worth it right there. That's it. Hey, everybody think that it's foul play, even that people that wasn't just coming out and saying it. Even Sam is saying foul play.
Service Sam here for a Nolan Xavier Wells update. And Nancy talked to Jeff Landry's from the United Cajun Navy, and he might have just given us the proof that Nolan's body being found on Horn Island the way it was reeks of foul play. Check this out.
Wet sand. That's the way to put it. It's wet sand. He's not out in the water, Jeff Gentry. What does that mean, if anything?
That's really abnormal. I would have a ton of questions in that case. I would wonder if there's no waves, no strong current, why is that body up on a shore? How did it get there? And just like when we're looking at blood evidence or other forms of evidence, if something is in a certain position within a scene, you have to question how it got there. I have investigated a lot of deaths, bodies in canals, rivers, lakes, large bodies of water, never really near the ocean, to where you would expect somebody to wash up to shore. But in these cases, even though there's strong current, waves, large bodies of water, I've never really seen bodies up on a shore, especially up out of the water enough to where they could decompose significantly to where they can't be identified or can't be fingerprinted. So that would be a very big question that I would have in this case is, with the absence of waves, with the absence of a strong current, how in the world did this 19-year-old man end up on shore out of the water?
Straight up.
Yes. How, with the absence of waves or the absence of a current,
right,
did Nolan just wash up on the shore like that?
Come on now.
It makes you think, allegedly, that somebody or some people put him back on that island, and we need answers.
Straight up. That's pretty much what. And hey, Sam on it, my girl on it. Shout out to Royal
Grace interview with Josh Gill and a few other people from the United Cajun Navy. I just thought it was so emotional because he was describing Miss Christine and the entirety of the family after they found out, or when they went into the coroner's office and they were talking about Nolan, if you will. And what was interesting is that Josh Gill said that it wasn't even 3 seconds that they had came into the conference room with the family that the coroner immediately comes out and says he didn't suspect foul play. Now, the crazy part is that how could he visually determine, looking at Nolan, because his body was so decomposed, like badly decomposed, for only had been out there for less than 48 hours. How was he able to determine that? Which is what led to Miss Christina say, we need to get a thorough investigation because I'm not even finna go for that. Second of all, I love and respect Josh for saying that he is with Miss Christine. He backs Miss Christine. He supports Miss Christine for continuing to fighting for justice for Nolan. I appreciate that. And okay, and then the death investigator said that he just felt that it was very concerning that knowing that Nolan's body was so badly decomposed for less than 48 hours, that off the rip should have been, he said that's alarming, that's concerning. And he also said that he found it very odd, I'm paraphrasing, kind of suspicious that Nolan's body was even on the sand, because he was not found in the water. He was found on the sand, on the land, obviously island, what have you. He said he questions, how did he get there? Who put him there? Because he didn't just get there on his own. If he allegedly drowned, his body would have been in the water, surely, obviously, in the same place that he allegedly went in, but he would have been still in the water. He said he covers so many drownings. He has never seen anything like this in his life, like even from the decomposition and finding Nolan's body on the island. Just saying.
And it's not only her. Thanks, sis. We appreciate that. Listen, it's not just her. Everybody, just decent human beings, are seeing the same thing.
Did any of you happen to see the Nancy Grace interview with Jeff Gentry?
What else?
Who is a medical legal expert, blood pattern analysis, homicide investigator, event reconstruction, all the things, right?
In your presence.
And he talks about how Nolan was found and how he had to be identified by dental record. If he drowned, the body would have been much more well preserved, and they would not have had to have identified him by dental record. Second, the way Nolan was found on the beach, on the wet sand, on a place that doesn't have big grand waves or big tides,
right,
doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So basically, he's saying what all of us that want justice for Nolan, we already knew this, right?
Right.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. This is just what my gut is telling me. And I know somebody's going to get on here and say, you don't give a shit about my gut. I don't give a shit about yours either.
Right.
He did not drown.
Right.
He was killed.
Yep.
Maybe not intentionally, but the end result is death. He's not here with us anymore. And he was put there. And Jeff Gentry, with 18 years experience
Right.
as a homicide investigator,
Mm-hmm.
event reconstruction,
Yep.
blood pattern analysis, somebody that does this for a living and has 18 years experience doing it, said, I have tons of questions and there are too many red flags. So I'm going to leave that with y'all. And y'all do with that what you will.
Hey.
I hope y'all have a great day and I love y'all.
Just straight like that, you know, not no extra fluff, not no, you know what I'm saying? Nothing accusatory. She, you know, even tried to be diplomatic about it. She wasn't willing to go too far. And I'm not saying be Malcolm X, but I'm not saying be Malcolm X. I'm just saying tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to be. I can do that. I got the Malcolm X part. Just tell the truth. That's all right. That's all I need you to do, and I can appreciate that. You know, boy. You know what? You know what? I have not seen. I don't want to speak. Did I speak too soon? Because I was gonna say we got such a nice chat today. Man, shout out to the mods, shout out to the members. Oh yeah, we got a new member to the family too. Let me hold on, because that's very important to me. Let me shout out the handle real quick, because you better thank a member. Joseph, welcome Joseph to the family. I appreciate all my members on the lookout side of the game and the stomp down side of the game. Shout out Foxy. And yeah, man, just so y'all know, it's crazy out here in these streets. Now, there's a couple warnings that I wanted to make sure that I went over, because you know there's just some messages that we need to know. I don't know if it was stressed enough when I first played it. You know, I don't know, but some message, you know, that just a message, you know, in the midst of all of the things that are going down. OG wanted to go ahead and spit something to you, talking about the lynchings in the state of Mississippi, because unfortunately another brother just was found, and I'm gonna be following up with that story tomorrow, so stick and stay tuned. But OG kind of just had a message within that, so I'm kind of breaking the story early. But listen here.
All those police officers in the state of Mississippi that's doing all those hangings, and the police officers in South Carolina and other areas that are hanging black people. This is what I have to say. You better hope and pray that none of your colleagues or co-workers or whoever that you've done this with ends up getting drunk and going to the bar and telling one of his little girlfriends and get to bragging about what he did. Because you know what she's going to do? She's going to have it on record. She's going to put it on TMZ. It's going to be all over the internet. And then when it's going to be, paper trail back to you with doing all these murders and stuff or hanging black people in trees. What they're going to do.
Tia, what's up?
They're going to go ahead and book you. And you're going to go ahead and go to jail or prison or wherever. And I don't think you're going to end up surviving, because Sean Grayson, look how long he lasted. Sean Grayson died because he was stressed out and he wanted to get out of there. You guys are not built for that. You're built for doing harm to people, but you're not built for people doing harm for you or to you.
Right.
So, like I said, just pray that your colleagues don't end up snitching on you about all those hangings, because it's bound to happen.
I think so too.
Once a bunch of people that's in a group that's doing something evil, it's always somebody snitching on the one that's the ringleader of doing this. I would like to talk about all those.
Thanks, OG. I appreciate that message. Just so you know, everybody can stay diligent out there. You know, keep your head on a swivel, that type of thing, because you know nobody knows the dangers that lurk. But you know, this video I thought was interesting to the team because did y'all notice that they colonized the word racist? Did y'all notice that? I thought that was interesting. She broke this down real quick, and this is something that you see in the comment sections or any posts on your social media. Shout out to Foxy. She came over there to give me a little backup on one of them posts with the Devils. And this is something that you see all the time. Listen to this.
So according to Below the Belt 74, most white people are not racist.
Right.
And I just had to come out here and ask y'all, is that true? Is that accurate? Now, y'all remember when I told y'all that y'all stole that word from us, racist? I don't think y'all realize that before all of this stuff started coming out on the news, coming out on social media about all this stuff happening and all these issues, you know, with racism involved, embedded in it, all before that, y'all didn't have a problem. Y'all wasn't calling us racist. Y'all was not calling us racist. Now, all of a sudden, if we disagree or if we think that Carmelo Anthony is not guilty or that he did it in self-defense, we're racist. If we feel like Nolan Wells didn't drown, we're racist. That's what I'm saying. And just because we think a certain way different than you, it does not make me a racist.
Right.
And then if you really want to take it there, what about the white people that do believe that they're, you know, that Carmelo shouldn't have got 35 years?
I play them all the time.
Or that Nolan Wells did not drown. What about those people? Are they racist as well against their own? All I'm saying is that you guys have a history of doing that to us. You'll take stuff from us, whether it be an invention or something that we done came up with. It can be our culture, the way that we dress, the way we wear our hair, the way we walk, our slang, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys take it from us and then you use it to throw it back in our faces. For instance, with the whole rapping culture, you got white people who want to rap. Yeah, you do. But they don't get all of that static. Oh, all y'all want to do is be a rapper. Y'all just want to get involved in that. But y'all don't say that to them, but y'all say it to us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So according to Below the Belt 74, most white people are not racist.
And see, y'all gotta now this is finna blow y'all mind. This is for my intelligent people in my chat, because I be seeing y'all giving them that work in the chat, and I appreciate seeing y'all clapping back. Y'all be giving them the business, but sis, you know how sis get down. She got a message.
My black folks, I know it's a lot going on with us, but we got to remain calm.
Right.
And I say that because they want these reactions out of us. They want us angry.
Yep.
They want us violent.
Yep.
So that they can have a reason to go and grab their straps.
Right.
And they ammo.
Yeah.
And hit the streets.
Yeah.
And start purging niggas. That's what they want. They want the react. Do you know how valuable you gotta be for a motherfucker? Not one person. Not one. No, not one. But a whole race of people to crave your attention, to crave your energy. Your energy is expensive, is it not?
Yeah, very.
When people is going through hoops and hurdles, just so you can pay attention to, look at me, look what I'm doing. I'm hanging niggers in 2026. Look what I'm doing. I'm drowning niggers and just saying that it was accidental and it was no foul play. You know, they going through all this shit just so we can react. We gotta be powerful. And I'm not saying that questioning it. We is motherfucking powerful.
Come on
'Cause
now.
shit that I don't like, I don't see. Don't want to see, don't want to hear about it. Don't care what it's doing or how it's doing. But for some odd reason, these motherfuckers just gotta know every goddamn thing. Even when they don't know you, even when you a complete stranger, they just walk up to your car. Hey, yeah, what are you doing here?
Or pop up in your chat. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you know anybody in this neighborhood? But they be scared though. They be fearing for their life. But they'll walk up to a nigga car in a heartbeat, not knowing who or what's up in it.
Right.
You are valuable.
Very.
You mean something to them.
A lot.
Don't get it twisted. I don't care what the fuck they try to convince you of who you are not. You mean something to them because they take everything you create.
Right.
They try to reinvent it looking stupid and dumb as hell. You matter to them.
Yep.
So listen to me when I say, starve them bitches. Don't give them no energy. Don't give them no attention. Men, black men, don't give them no dick. And if you must dog that hoe, I said exactly what the dog that bitch for the ancestors, as y'all like to say. But yeah, you powerful, cause I ain't never seen no motherfucker that hated me I do got some haters, and they do be all up in my mix.
Shout out to her. Yeah, Mimi be talking that talk, boy. You should make your chat private. Nah, cause and thanks for tapping in, Cindy. I'll let them rock out in the chat as long as they ain't spamming. Because look here, it's the yin and yang of this, right? Right. If the stuff the stuff I be talking about, you wouldn't even know it's real unless you got constant confirmation of these dweebs in the chat. Now we done got a lot of them out of here because they get antagonistic and start threatening and doing stuff like that. But for the most part, they can say that goofy. Now that should be motivation for you to become a member, because we is going to be doing members only content, and people who ain't members can't even see that. Shout out to my members. And then actually, while I'm talking about shout out to the members, I guess I might as well real quick before we get into the program, just on a real quick side of the game. I told y'all it was coming, didn't I? Didn't I tell y'all it was coming? Well, they are here. And I got a twist. Oh, yes. I got a twist for y'all. I got them brand new spanking brand new Jones. I got them Black First Jones. Oh, yeah. I got them Black First Jiggity Jones. Hold on, let me move this over here so everybody can see. I got them Black First Jones, fresh off the pot, in the blue, in the pink, in the red, and the white. And it's not only the front, but it is the back too. It say built here, stay here, winning here, Black First. Oh yeah. Yeah. Give it up. That's right. They're dope. And hold on. I got them for the cheering. I got the onesies for the cheering. Oh yeah. I got the onesies for the cheering. I got the little hoodies for the cheering. Hoodies for the adults. I got the shirts for the kids too. 2T, 3T, 4T. You know what I'm saying? When you want to get your baby Black First too. I think that's so dope. And you know what I'm saying? I got the classic standard comfort crew neck tees. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. You know what I'm saying? I told you they was coming. Get your B1 Black First t-shirt. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. I just wanted to make sure that y'all seen that, because I think those are pretty nice. Anyway, yeah, when we speaking in terms of education, you know, I had to make sure I laid that out for you one more time. Now, there is a certain psychology bit and piece to this that I want, that I wanted to go over. It's almost like I want to do another video. Like I want to do another video. You know what I can't update y'all on though? Y'all remember maybe 2 weeks ago, we had did that video about the man at the pool and them folks was messing with him at the pool. Well, there is an update to that, and it has got worse just because this man, I even had, and the reason why I'm dressing this too, because there was people in the comments section on the video, the dweebs in the chat. And they was talking about he was lying and all that. And I'm like, well, if he was lying, why is he getting death threats and this, that, and the third, and finna have to turn it over to the FBI? Check this out. This is crazy.
Unfortunately, I have to speak on it. So for ever since the pool incident, my family and I have been just inundated with just threats. Every day there's just different threats on our lives. The other day someone contacted me and they were like, we know where your children go to school at. We know where you live at, all this kind of stuff. You die, you fucking nigger. So it's got to the point now, I'm actually headed to my son's school. I'm probably going to have to contact the federal authorities because someone is, threatening my child, which is very unfortunate. Like I said, I was not trying to speak on this. But they threatened him and told him pretty much to hang himself. You should kill yourself. You nigger this, you nigger that. And it's these are my children. So it's like, I think we're taking this thing a bit too far.
Right.
I understand there's hate. But this is ridiculous, like honestly. And I pride myself on not speaking on this because I just felt like it was not the forum for this and it's not the appropriate thing to do. And people, they're entitled to their opinions, but this went too far with hate. I don't know what's going on in America right now, but I'm probably going to have to contact the federal authorities, not out of fear. That's why I never spoke on it because I feel like that I can't engage that kind of hate. We can debate, we can have our own dialogue and narratives and stuff like that, but when you start talking about death to children,
right,
all because this I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm headed to my son's school. I'm let the principal know I feel like this is a hate crime, and we'll see what happens. It's just so unfortunate. Like I said, it's been going on ever since the incident, and I just refuse to engage it because it's about love over here. Like I don't see color. My children don't see color, but it's making it very hard,
brother.
So y'all just say a prayer for me, man. Peace and blessings, man.
Hold on, sir. I was about to give you some claps, but you just ruined it right at the end. That's problematic there, sir. I'm almost sad that I didn't see the end of this clip. That's real problematic there, bucko. You don't see color because it was them seeing color that got your ass harassed at the damn pool. Come on, man. See. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But there's a psychology to that, though, y'all. I want to, if I get out of here and come back with the next video, I want to warn y'all about this psychology of this. And this sister busted down so good. She busted down so good. Shout out to Theo the Truth.
For white pride groups or people who join white. I have a question for white pride groups or people who join white pride groups. And I'm just asking this because, this whole Texas Roadhouse thing going viral. But why is it that anytime there's a white pride group,
right,
it's never focused on the actually being prideful in being white without mentioning or downing or talking about Black people or another race? Like, why can't it just be about you? Why does it have to include hating other people? Why does it have to include, oh, we gotta spit in Black people's food, oh, I hate Black people because of this, or Black people are loud, or Black people are ghetto, and oh, we're better than Black people because of this, we're better. Like, it never is about you. It's always about Black people. It's always about somebody else. Why can't it just be focused on the beauty and the diversity within your own group?
Right.
Why can't it just be focused on, oh, we're celebrating our families and our culture, we're celebrating our style of music, we're celebrating our traditions, you know what I mean? Like, why is that not the focus Because when I'm reading through these comments, it's like it's all about hating black people. It's always about downing black people and about how you're better than black people or how black people are this. Like, because I'm gonna be honest, like when I think about all of the reasons why I love myself,
right,
I don't think about you. I don't think about nobody but me.
all.
When I don't think about nobody as except what pertains to me
at all.
So I don't understand the connection there. Why does loving yourself have to include hating everybody else? And I'm only talking to the people who join these types of groups, because obviously all white people ain't like that. It's a lot of cool ass white people that don't rock with that, and that's fine. But I'm curious, because that makes it look like being racist is your culture. Like racism is actually the premise, and it's actually an integral part of white pride and white culture. And I would hate to think that was the case, or that was true. But if it's not true, you're not doing a very good job of making it seem like that's not what it is.
Now, see, that's the problem right there. And I wanted to bring that subject up because, right, you know, like a previous person said, we really just became kind of vocal, you know what I'm saying, during these recent injustices. I mean, yes, standing up for Trayvon and this, that, and the third, but even during the Trayvon joint, we wasn't clapping back with memes, or we wasn't making memes and this, that, and the third. We wasn't doing that back then. We just really just this, because shout out to FBA. First of all, that has brought about so much racial self-esteem and racial pride in us, and I'm so proud of us that can't nobody tell us nothing, and you're getting clapped at like right away on the spot, on site, whenever anything go down. So shout out to us again. Right. Well, we ain't really, this is new for a lot of people, y'all. They ain't never really seen us clap like this. Like we've been passive. I say it all the time, man. This is, you know, we had to recognize that we was at fault and being so smooth and cool with everybody. Now that we circling wagons and looking out for each other, the unity and the code is here. Don't never let nobody tell you that we ain't unified and we ain't on code, because you can tell what's going on by these recent events. When it hit the fan, we got each other's back. So I don't want to hear nothing about if we could just come together, because we so together that we got other people wanting to be us too. Oh yeah. I got a diaspora video coming here where we're gonna talk about foundational Black Americans and tethers and the whole 9 yards. So don't think I'm not covering that topic. I just like watching other people who do it better, like Black Alpha. Black Alpha is where I go to get my tether news and stuff like that. Like, you know, like I watch other people too. I'm just I'm regular, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta touch on it though, because I gotta bring it to y'all. But you know, I'm gonna present it in a certain way that only I could do it. You know what I'm talking about? And that's no disrespect to the people that's across the pond, because like I say now, and I'm gonna make sure I play, you know, saying definitions. Just because you not foundational Black American, it don't make you a tether. A tether is an action word, so I want to clarify. But yeah, man, listen, I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm emoji, fold you, and scold you about being on code. And you know I got 4 words for you for all the new people here and the ones that survived to the end. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike in the algorithm. That's the reason why you would like a program. So it pushes it out to the algorithm. Say, hey, yo, this is dope. Other people need to see it. Comment your vomit. Let me know you in the house. I shout you out. And yeah, of course, I'm coming with the tether news. And share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we are on, Jones. And just to bring it all the way home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for Shoha. You already know. Yiggity.